to the Gunnar Vibe. Thank you, Varun, for joining. Uh,
No problem.
First day of the season, first day at the Emirates against the Wolves today. Uh, you managed to win 2-0. What are your initial reactions?
I think a typical first day, positive, one goal in each half, and I think we did the job to keep it simple. And Arteta didn't experiment much as well, played his best 11, not tinkering with the back line, and I think good result overall.
Were there any surprises that you saw when the team sheets came out? I had a brief video that I'd sent out yesterday where I said I was expecting Trossard to start instead of Havertz, sorry, instead of Martinelli,
Martinelli.
because at least we saw the last end of last season where Havertz and Trossard was playing well together. So changing that a little bit was interesting, but I think having that Martinelli and Zinchenko uh, working on the left hand side was probably behind the idea behind that keeping Martinelli there. But what did you think about that?
Yeah, I think Martinelli, I guess it was a byproduct of the summer break that they had. And I felt Martinelli was sharper partly because he was not playing for Brazil as much compared to Trossard, like playing for Belgium. So I guess Martinelli was slightly more sharper in preseason, and maybe Arteta used that to just give him a go ahead of Trossard.
Mm,
But Trossard eventually got his minutes, so I think they should balance it out eventually. Plus, it's just the first game,
yeah.
so I guess if you see this is like our best 11. If we don't have any signings, our from the last two seasons, this is most consistent. Of course, Raya is the only difference versus Ramsdale,
Mm,
but team looks solid. I don't see like Wolves. I didn't see Wolves attacking. I mean, like they didn't have many clear cut chances. There were some scares, but a typical afternoon at the Emirates. I think we are usually a little bit more open at the Emirates compared to away, and I think
mm,
that's what we saw today. So,
yeah.
but Wolves couldn't, get the best of us. So that's a positive.
Yeah, Wolves. I think they did start a little bit better. They didn't create a lot of chances, but it was interesting, at least initially, to see. I think the left back, Ait Nori, playing similar role to Zinchenko, like he was playing like cutting into inside the
Yeah.
midfield a lot, and pretty much letting Saka have his way. But he did defend well. But we had a few chances. I remember Rice had one where he got a pass I think, from Odegaard and or maybe Martinelli, and he just hit the shot up in the stands. And there was a couple other chances similar to that where we just weren't taking our chances. It felt like. Um, but eventually, somehow Saka got a lot of space on the right hand side and he hooked the ball, which Havertz scored a typical header, which was really impressive considering there were still defenders around and the goalkeepers was about to come in and punch the ball as well. How did you feel once the goal fell in? Did you feel relieved? Did you feel like now it's the time to put the gas in the pedal and
Yeah, I think after the first goal, if we could have gotten a second goal quicker, I think then we could have seen the likes of the new signings playing a little bit, bit of little cushion there. But I think, as you said, we had so many more chances in the first half from Rice, from Partey, from long range. It's just that we couldn't, hit the back of the net. And at 1-0, actually, at some point, it gives us some jitters. Like, sometimes a late goal and it's 1-1
mm,
and it's pressure on us. Luckily, we avoided that. The second goal calmed us, and I think we kept them at bay. But
yeah.
again, lots of more chances. We could have played better, but again, it's just first game. I think the team's getting used to each other, and everyone. If you think about it, this summer was very hectic,
Mm,
and like lots of games for all the players, most of the players. So I was expecting a slow start. I mean, I'm like the next few weeks will be similar. I feel like all teams have players like who have been busy all summer, like tournaments plus preseason plus all these games. So we could see a slower start to this season, but
Mm.
that's okay as long as we get the points. I think we should be good.
Yeah. I mean, we had Raya to thank for this really amazing save. I don't know how he was able to get back in position because he was moving one way and he just had his hand and out to save that header from I forget the name of the guy, Larson, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Amazing save. And between the goal and that, Saka also had a couple of chances. One right-footed effort and one other left-footed, which went straight to the goalkeeper. It did seem like Saka again. He didn't have a lot of time during preseason, same as
yep,
Rice. So it seemed like he was getting tired. Second half, Partey seemed like he was getting tired. Zinchenko was looked tired. We were very, very sloppy in the second half, giving
yeah,
away possession easily to Wolves, and Wolves actually looked very, very calm. At the same time, they were creating a lot of chances too. Saliba had really poor. Either he passed it, like Raya passed to Saliba at the wrong time, or Saliba just happened to pass it to someone, which ended up in Wolves. But again, we were thankful that Wolves wasn't able to score, and
yeah.
immediately after, our star boy Saka was able to go back and get the second goal. A big relief, but I do feel like you mentioned, this is still the first game. There is a lot of um, cobwebs, I guess, to remove in our
Yeah.
get some more expertise in our uh, play, better play, and we'll hope that things do improve because the upcoming games are not going to be easy for Arsenal.
Yeah, the first few games are very difficult, and plus, I think Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. I think they played together in the last few games of this last season, and I think Partey being fit, if we need to keep him in the team, I think he needs to be absolutely fit. But I think when he's fit, he's really great. It's
Mm,
just that once he's out, then we suddenly lose balance, and then we need to get Havertz back in, and then up front we need to accommodate a different player. So I think when he's there, I think he gives that shield, and if at all the rumors of Mikel Merino are true, I think then we have good cover, and it'll be a good competition for Partey as well. I don't know if Jorginho is going to be number two or number three in that in that pecking order, but I think there's lots of games, as you said, in Champions League, and I think we will need a squad, not as big as Chelsea's,
mm,
but I think we do need some more cover in a couple of areas. Again, I think we discussed offline, like Saka needs some cover. Although we do have Reece Nelson, but Nelson doesn't provide us that extra cutting edge that Saka gives us. So hopefully Edu still has something in the next 2 weeks, to
mm,
get some reinforcements, because this season is going to be, as you said, if we need to win the league, I think we need to win at least 100 points, to keep check on Man City, and plus the extra games with Champions League. So who knows? I'm just with size of each squad. I was looking at every squad size, like Man City and Chelsea and Man United. And of course, Chelsea has way too many players. I don't know how they're accommodating those many players, but a lot of teams have very skinny squads, and I don't know how injuries will show in the season. And we saw Man United had the entire defense last season gone, and they were struggling.
mm.
They never made the top four. So it's hoping to have a fit squad. I think last year we had a very good luck with injuries, and I hope that continues and we
Mm.
get some reinforcement. I feel we are less in numbers a little bit, with the extra games coming ahead.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Arteta plays with the defense that he has. He has a lot of cover this time. It was interesting to not see Kivior on the bench. There is always already a lot of speculation of him being sold. I know Juventus, Inter Milan, they were all interested in Kivior. Interestingly, not a lot of interest coming our way for Nketiah and Reece Nelson. I'm still hoping that we are able to sell. But even if we let go of Kivio, we still have a good defense. We have players who can play multiple positions, which is what Arteta always likes.
Yeah.
We saw Timber come in today in the left back position, which um, I would have thought he would have played Calafiori, but I guess he wants Calafiori to take some more time. Maybe wants Calafiori to play centre back, which
Right.
would
Right.
mean Timber might at some point get a right back, centre back um, opportunity. Maybe when Tomiyasu is back, he may get an opportunity in the right back and centre back position. So there is a lot of options, a lot of what Arteta would say Swiss knife kind of thing.
Mm.
We,
Yep.
we are
Yep.
going, but like you said, there is a lot of games. We have to win maximum of points if we have to beat a team like Man City. The last time I saw Arsenal had like about 21 players in total. Uh,
Right.
Obviously, there is scope for at least a couple of players we can purchase in the non-homegrown grown spots in the squad. I think the good thing about for Chelsea is even with that 41, 43 number that they we see the squad size, the number of homegrown players is fine. They are able to get that because we they can still have uh, 17 plus 8 homegrown plus any number of under 21s.
Right.
They have a lot of under 21 players, so they are fine in that regard. And I don't think they have a lot of non homegrown players either. So, overall, I think Chelsea should be okay. We don't really care about Chelsea, but still, it just looks funny that they have a huge squad and it's
I don't know
a
how
bit
they
too
ended up,
much.
and they're just sitting with that big
Yeah.
squad. But who knows what their plans are?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's all about luck. If those players really do well, then they have a squad for like 5, 6, maybe even 10 years. But Arsenal will have to keep hoping that our academy produces more players. Like we have Oneri and Miles Lewis Kelly coming up, and then Heaven coming up. So there is good players coming from our under 21, under 18 squads too. So hopefully they'll get some chances. But
Yep.
like you mentioned, Merino is coming. We may see a wide forward. I hope that is the case because Saka, even after just before the goal, he looked spent.
I think after
Honestly,
75 minutes, he looks like he's done, like
yeah,
in every game. And I think it's just last 3 seasons, he's played almost every game, and it's
yeah,
been too much. Plus all, World Cup plus Euros. I think last 2 years, there's been no rest for
mhm,
anyone.
yeah,
So I think we need to protect him, rotate him a little bit, I feel, and not just burn him, because this season we need him like for the last 10 games when we might have to win all of them. So
right,
let's see what happens tomorrow in Chelsea against Man City, and
mm,
hopefully City start with a draw, a draw or a loss, and hopefully they start dropping points again. First 10 games for Arsenal looks very tough to me,
mm,
but again, if we get through that in much succession, 7 wins for example, and 3 draws or maybe a loss, I think we are in good shape, because a lot of those games last season we ended up losing points. So if we can get through them, Villa away, I think we have Chelsea away, United, Liverpool. I think we have everything, even City and Tottenham in the first
mm,
10 games.
yeah,
So it's kind of like a flip of what we had in the last 10 games of the season. We
mm.
just have them right in the beginning, and if we come out better on that, I mean, even if we are in the top two after that 10 games, I think we are good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We have Aston Villa that we play next. It's going to be huge because we lost at Villa. I think we lost at home against Villa as well. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy playing at Villa Park next game. I think the upcoming games, like you mentioned, it's going to be tough. We have Brighton at home, who won 3-0 against Everton, which is impressive considering they had a managerial change, a lot of players
Right.
moving as well. Then we have Tottenham away, Man City away, like you mentioned. So it's not going to
Yeah.
be easy start. We have a tough run of fixtures in September, October after the interval too. Man
Yeah, we
United,
have
Liverpool. So
Liverpool home, Newcastle away, Chelsea away, and I
yeah,
think all the way to December, it's all the tough fixtures if you can ask for. To be honest, I mean, we
yeah.
don't have a single run of games which is like a patch up. But again, it could work in our favor, right? In the second half,
Mm,
if we have already completed all these tough games, I think then that actually bodes well with us if we are chasing the title. So again, flip of a coin. We just need to win, as you said, as many games as possible, and let's hope that the other teams drop some points. Liverpool looked sharp today. I watched their game.
mm,
Again, none of his players, but he's managed to coach very well, and he got his tactics, and they got a good 2-0 win away from home. So even though we thought, like, after Klopp, Liverpool would see a potential, like a flat line, they seem to have started well. I think even against us in that game in Philly, they were pretty good. I mean, they got two quick goals, and I think we couldn't recover from that.
mm.
So we need to keep. I mean, I feel Liverpool would be a very, like a dark horse as well. Last season they were like the big. We were the dark horse last season. But I feel Liverpool and City will be up there this season for sure. I don't know about United and Chelsea and the others, but I think these two will be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good fight in for the top 6 to 8 teams. I know Man United spend a lot. Tottenham have just signed us forward. Aston Villa, obviously, with them in the Champions League, they have signed a lot of players. Newcastle obviously wants to come back to the Champions League, and they have good players already.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough task to get wins against those teams, both home and away. If we have to get to near the top and play against City, I do feel there is at least scope for a couple of players in this squad for Arsenal to have some competition and also get some rotation going because it's going to be a lot of games. We need some bench strength in some games like. We were chatting offline, like you mentioned, the low block. We need
Yeah,
someone
when we
with
have to dig
pace.
in, I think we need some different ideas because I think those are the only games I feel we get stuck up, and I think we end up losing points. Otherwise, I think if it's a free flowing opposition, like for example, even Spurs, we come out on the top, right? Like if the tactics are right, if there's enough space, I think we are good. But I think it's the teams that come to the Emirates, and like they try to suffocate us and like
Mm,
defend. That's when we crack, and and suddenly if they score a goal, I mean, I just remember the Villa game. That's how they got it. Like they defended well, and they until 74th minute they kept us 0-0, and then they scored one, and then that's when we lost the title, right? So I think in those games, I think we need some new key to unlock those games. And if we have tried those same players for 2 seasons, and if we are not able to get across the line, we need some new dimension, is what how I think. And I'm hopefully, like, Edu and Arteta think the same. But again, who knows what they're thinking? They probably are thinking long term, and like it's their plan. So I mean, we feel like we missed a striker for last 2 seasons, and we couldn't get the right man. But I feel summer is the right time to address it, and not wait until January, where markets
mm,
are tight. Yeah, like I think in my mind, I think what they're looking for is selling Nketiah first and then bringing someone in. And I think the Nketiah deal to Bournemouth and Marseille, kind of like, Marseille might still happen, but I think they were looking at Nketiah. Bournemouth were about to sign him for Solanke, and I think they signed that other guy.
mm,
Evan Nilsson or someone. So I think they're trying to play the market. They want a good price for Nketiah, and I think they they were not willing to sell him for 27 million, and I think that's the hold up. But hopefully they can get that sorted. then we need one more additional striker or like an offensive player. I think defense, I feel like I think even keeper, I feel we need one player because we
Mm,
ended up selling Carl Hein, and now for some reason, suddenly we have only two keepers.
mm,
So that suddenly, like, usually there are three keepers, and I'm like, I don't know why they sold Carl Hein. Actually, he was pretty good in the preseason, but I guess he wants to play. Let's see what happens. There's still 2 weeks to go, I guess, and then potentially two games more, and we'll see after 3 games where we stand.
yeah. Yeah, we have, like you said, 2 weeks of transfer to go. But in between transfers, we have incredibly tough run of fixtures to play as well. So
Yeah,
hopefully we have some cover. We have some good players coming in, and we'll be able to win some games too. But good start of this for the season. We definitely wanted a settled side. We wanted a decent win. I predicted 2-0. We got 2-0, which was obviously positive.
yeah.
But hopeful that we continue our progress as the season goes. Um,
Absolutely. Looking forward to 114 points. So that's the
yeah.
only way we can beat Man City. And I think Arteta for sure is aiming for 100 points. I
Mm,
think mentally, and I think that's what he's trying to drill into the team. So I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm positive this season. I think we'll do something for sure in the trophies cabinet. Either the Champions League or the league. I think that has to be Arteta's because he's also under pressure. If you think about it, it's his seventh season. He's only given a couple of Community Shields and FA Cup, and I feel for him it'll be justification. One of the trophies will mean a lot to him for his hard work. I feel he's done a great job. It's just that we need that showcase of like a win of a tournament or like a trophy because otherwise he won't be validated or he won't be across the grades. I feel all his hard work. I feel we shouldn't lose it just because he couldn't win anything.
mm,
So hopefully he gets like his hands on a trophy this season, and I feel like it'll actually put him in a better spot for next season as well,
yeah.
as a manager. Yeah,
I think that is what he's waiting for. He wants a trophy that will warrant the next contract.
yeah,
Otherwise, he will also feel disappointed. So
yeah.
there is going to be a lot of speculation as the year goes that when is Arteta going to sign. So that story is definitely going to come, but
Correct.
this is probably going to just be a side story where Arteta really wants this trophy. He wants to drill into the team to try and win as many games as possible in order
Right.
to win a trophy. It doesn't matter if it is Premier League, Champions League. As long as we win something, it's going to be important for the team. Otherwise, we'll start seeing some team players also wanting to move.
That's the other concern, right? If one is for Arteta's vindication, and the second is people like Saliba and like Saka. I mean, Saliba already scouted by Madrid, and I it'll be like that 2008 squad, right? We were so close to winning a title, and then Fabregas, Nasri, and Sanya, and like all these, big, like big as in like they were big at that time, close to a title, start leaving, and I think that'll be the worst thing that could happen.
Mm,
But for that reason, I think we need something this season. So
yeah.
that's the pressure for Arteta, and because, for example, City play under no pressure because they really don't care, and like they have won everything for the last few seasons, and one season without a trophy for them will be nothing for them. I mean, even if Guardiola leaves, as a club, I think they have been there, done that. But I think for us, it's on the other side. It's on the shoes on the other foot, and we really need that trophy to prove
Mm.
ourselves.
Let's hope that's the case. I'll continue this talk as the season goes. Obviously, thanks
Yep.
for
Yep.
joining. If you guys like our discussions, and obviously, more so if you're an Arsenal fan, please like and subscribe. And we invite any of the Gunners to come join uh, in our discussions anytime you want. Um, but we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, Varun.
Sounds good. Talk to you in the next game week.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.